Excellent. Good evening and welcome to the Village Board Budget Workshop. We are here with 3 board members this evening, Michelle Ganance, myself, and Dean Whalen. And this is really just a summary meeting of the budget process that we've gone through. I don't anticipate this being very long right now. I just wanted to go over it. I felt like when we left, Catherine was going to be, plugging in some different numbers that we gave her directions towards. And I just wanted us to make sure we all understand where we're at before we come in for the organizational meeting on the 6th and have to vote on it. That's all. Just to make sure you probably all got her email when we let Nick in. So give me a second. There we go. A couple days ago, I think, that she
It actually popped back up again today.
Sorry, Dean.
It's weird. It popped back up again today. I'm not sure why it.
Yeah, I saw. Unless Catherine, did you send it to us?
You know what? I had 2 different drafts, evidently. I sent you one last week. There was something that was wrong with that first draft. And when I came in today, I didn't know whether the other draft had gone through or not. So
Okay.
I sent it again, and that was a mistake. The first one was fine. So
Well, it still makes it easy to find.
Yeah, good.
Sorry about
the
that.
text from the email was the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, the text from the email was the same. That's why I wasn't sure why it was resent.
right.
Yeah.
Well, so let me just highlight some of the things that were in the email. The requests we had on 310 were put into this draft. The Crown's House monies of $50,000 was taken off that line. The firehouse repair line was lowered from 135 to 120. And let's see, added right now is this, the $55 potential billing of sewer rents is in the sewer fund line, reducing the appropriate fund balance that needs to be covering that or taken there $20,000 to $26,000. The salary adjustments that we were making are all intact. Remember, we had an A and a B last time, and you said you were okay with sticking with our original A. So we kept those intact at where they were. And I think those are the only adjustments, Catherine.
Yeah, and that was just the only question I had was whether the original, and you wanted to keep the original one, so that's fine.
Yeah.
That was reflected in the budget. That was the only thing.
They are reflected in the budget, and that's, I think that's what we decided last time as a group. We were okay with that. So, and I guess that's just what I wanted to make sure we were all on board with what's there. I know we've been talking about the potential different ways to alleviate the stress on the sewer fund. I'm still not comfortable, and granted, we're not doing this right now. I am not comfortable thinking automatically we're adding a $100 depth fee. It is 45 now, that would change, but well, that is something we're going to have to meet on in June and July. We're going to have public hearing and local law changes, etc. I guess my only thing with that is I would like, and I'll work on this. I'm just curious if there's other ways we can help alleviate going that much of an increase on something when it comes, when it comes time to us having to do something. I'd like us to have some options. And, if there's a way to commit funds, knowing we had a $50,000 Crown's House line we've been carrying, if somehow we can, if the expenses are what's going up and we don't have enough revenues to cover it, is that something we can commit to expenses? And I don't want to go into all that now. It's just that's something I want to look at before we have those public hearings this summer. Because I think there's going to be trouble, and rightfully so, with some people having an issue with such a, a high increase. I remember what happened when it went up $5 years ago, and then we had a few questions last fall on the 45. So it's just something I want to look at. I may not be able to fix it that way, but maybe with some of the funds coming in, we can look at things. We don't know what's going to happen in the next, few months. So that's just where I am on that. Does anybody have any questions or comments about anything else that's in here? No? I'm seeing no movement. All right, well, that's what I just, it was really just coming together. We may not have had to meet. I just felt like we left and we were still, had a few things that were still going to be done to the draft. So I wanted to make sure we were okay with this draft. That's all.
I just like to add one
Just,
thing.
so-
When you're talking about the rent increases, I understand where you're coming from, Carrie. But one of the things, I think the biggest impact this would have would be people with multi apartments or apartments that they have to rent out. And I think it would be a good idea if you were gonna have your public hearings in June, so people had the opportunity to, pass some of these expenses on to renters that may have to, sign leases or whatever. I think it's important that they are able to adjust those figures for their purposes. So that was my only comment.
Okay,
Yeah, I was gonna say, we have to solve it here, but
you know what, guys, can
Go ahead, Nick.
mute while Nick is talking, and then I'll go back to Dean? Can I start with Nick and then I'll go to Dean, just because there's echoing coming across. Sorry about that.
yeah, there's a phone call and that's got some feedback too. Is that Kathy or?
Might
No,
be
I'm on.
Jeff. I don't know if it's Jeff's. These are
Alright.
muted, so, yeah.
Okay, I was just gonna kind of echoing what Kathy was saying is that we should figure out how much notice we want to give people if we do have to end up raising the sewer rents and work backwards so that it doesn't end up being a last minute thing. So if the bills go out in October or whatever, maybe we want to give people at least 3 months notice and then work backwards from there when we would have hearings, when we would do all this research and make sure we give people enough time. That's all.
In my mind, we'd have to complete that process by July as far as the local law changing public hearing. So probably you're looking at June and July, most likely. Either setting, talking about it, setting a public hearing for July, or May.
Finding another solution.
Yeah, it has to be done by then because of our schedule, the way we are, and readings start in September.
Okay,
So-
thanks.
That's why. Dean, did you have something? You're still muted. Yeah, Dean, you're muted. There you go.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. So we're transferring $303,000 in the general fund to balance this?
No.
Am I reading this right?
26,000.
Confused on how this is laid out.
Well, 303,000 is what the fund balance you're gonna need for your general fund next year. That's not anything to do with the sewer fund.
Yeah, I know. That's what I meant. I said general.
Oh, I thought you said transfer. No. Sorry, I heard you wrong.
What page are you looking at?
No, but I mean, in order to balance this budget, we need $303,000 from the general fund balance.
Just the
For the
general
general
fund
fund.
you're talking about. You're not talking about water or sewer, just the general. Yeah,
Just the general.
right.
Correct.
Catherine, is that what he's saying? Is that,
That's right. But it's just the general fund. Yeah.
okay,
Which is a little less than we assumed for last year's budget, but a whole lot more than we at least had to.
Well, you still have the
Transfer
firehouse in
balance.
there. You still have the firehouse in there
the
of
firehouse
120.
money that we're, yeah,
Yeah.
probably that they amount to.
Okay, so that's why you're seeing significantly lower actual transfer in the previous years, because we didn't use those sort of numbers
Right.
that we were carrying. Okay,
Right.
I got you. Yeah, I always get confused. Last page. Okay,
Okay. Any more questions about
I
anything?
didn't get a chance.
Go ahead. It's ducking out, Dean.
No, I didn't ask anything.
Oh, I thought you were. I heard you say something. Okay.
I was gonna say, Teresa, if you want to come in and go over this with me at any time, I'm more than happy to. I'm there Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 5, and I can review this with you if it's new to you. That's, more than happy to do something like that.
Great.
To any of the board members. Okay.
I'll email you and we can.
So I guess to answer your question, Carrie.
Yeah.
The last meeting, I thought we had a consensus, not that we wanted to do it, was to have to carry the $55,000, I think it was $55,000, but basically the $55
$55.
additional sewer. Yeah, in this budget, somewhat as a trial, but
It is in there.
I don't know how else you're gonna find that. Yeah, no, I know that. And
It's in the
Carrie's
sewer,
suggesting
right.
we need to be very careful. Yeah. But
Okay.
I don't know how, looking for ways to reduce, but I think we have to catch up. As we talked about, so. And it's not $100 kicker, it's a $55 kicker, which is still not insignificant, but
Twice a year,
Mhm.
110, yeah. All right, does anybody else have anything else?
I mean, I don't know how else you go find whatever we have to try to find, but was it, what the number was, $125,000? To try to balance the right away?
Right, it's an increase of 97 actually for the sewer.
97,000. I don't know how we quickly find that.
I'm having a hard time hearing all this, it's just echo constantly. Okay. Is everybody good with what's there for this draft? Then I can make a motion to approve. Anybody?
Yeah, this assumes no increase in the per thousand, right?
Correct. All right, Michelle, said you had a motion, can you just say it?
I have a motion. I'm on mute. That's the problem.
I wanted to make sure it was, Patty could hear. That's a, Michelle is first, second would be. I don't see anybody, so I'm looking.
I'll second.
And roll call, Patty.
Who was the second?
Nick?
Oh, that's Patty. That's who it is.
Yeah,
No, I'm not the one echoing.
Oh, okay.
I was on mute the entire
It's
time.
probably-
It keeps lighting up. I don't know.
it's, yeah.
It's probably
Trustee
me because I
Whalen?
didn't go through my, in favor.
Trustee Ganance,
In favor?
trustee Farronkov,
In favor.
Mayor Denine.
In favor. Okay, well, thank you.
It's, again, it's probably me because I went through the, my office network instead of being isolated here. I don't know what the difference is, but for some reason, that's the difference.
Well, at least we got that done. I just wanted to make sure we were good with this new draft. And we will, I'll send out some emails about a possible meeting next week briefly to do with some approvals we need to make for both the police reform report that will be coming to you any moment now, and from the committee, as well as another document that has to go in. So I'll talk to you about that and see what your availability is, okay? All right, thanks, have a great night.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye.
Bye.